ML Sports Take here, brought to you by Welch and Company Jewelers and Batavia Downs Gaming. There is nothing in my industry and nothing in sports that I can think of that pisses me off more than inaccuracy and the overreaction NFL fan and media person based on one game. Always one game. And this is not a Bills thing. This is not a Texan, Steeler, Patriot thing. It's not a Giant thing. It's not a 49er, Seahawk thing. It's a total football thing and a total inaccuracy thing. Rope that into social media, rope that into our world, rope that into stupid sports gambling, rope it into teams that are fan bases that hate certain teams, certain players. There's agendas against certain people, and it's gotten out of control. Most people probably know right where I'm going with this. Guy by the name of Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills. All-world quarterback, last year's MVP. He is the face of the Buffalo Bills. He's one of the faces of the NFL. He has literally made the Bills relevant after the drought. If you didn't have him right now, this is probably not even a playoff team. No disrespect to the number one pass defense and James Cook, the number one rushing leader, who, by the way, he had a fumble that was probably bigger than Allen's yesterday because, and I'm going to do something on this later, but if the Bills don't fumble it there, Cook doesn't fumble it, they go in 14-3 instead, or even get a field goal. Instead, Cook fumbles, Denver takes it down, and it's 10-7. Allen was horrendous yesterday. We all know what was going on. He was horrendous. Late in the game, this is Dawson Knox on what would have been, could have been, should have been a game-winning touchdown. He threw the ball on the ground to Khalil Shakir, could have been a score. He threw multiple picks. He had multiple fumbles lost. He missed a couple other guys wide open. He overthrew some people early in the game. The Bills had 13 points in turnovers given to the Denver Broncos. They shot themselves in the foot. They did this all year, though, by the way, right? They got down double digits. They turned the ball over left and right. Allen was a big part of this. He played reckless. He was a lot of sugar high Josh back to 2018. On and on it goes. But the other part is that Josh Allen is the dude you want to go to war with in football terms, of course. And one of the things I'm reading this year, I read last year, I read the year before that, I read the year before. I read it all the time. After one game in the regular season or even in the postseason, I read Josh Allen is a turnover machine. Josh Allen turns the ball over way too much. He costs his he costs the Buffalo Bills games left and right. They won multiple division titles and they made deep runs. They're one of 4 teams in the history of the game to win at least one playoff game 6 years in a row. And yes, they're the only team out of there to not even win not to make a Super Bowl, but also not to win one, but also not to make one. And I understand the shortcomings. I understand all that. It's frustrating as all get out. But I also understand where a franchise would be without him. And I also understand the one game off difference between the NFL, college basketball, and I don't know, a 7-game series when you can lose 2 games and still be in it. You can have a bad 3 games if you're the 2004 Red Sox and still win it. You can have a bad 2 games and not score, and then your pitcher goes out and pitches great and you win 2-1 in game 3 and you're right back in it. This is one game. They had also a bad 8-10 minutes where it was 10-10. It became 20-10. In an instant, Denver took control, and then, of course, Bills came back, and we know how the rest of it unfolded. You want to yell and scream about the officials? Be my damn guest. Here's the reality of Josh Allen in the playoffs, okay? I am so sick and tired of Josh Allen as a turnover machine in the playoffs. Really? Because football expert, guy or gal, went on Twitter and Facebook and were like, look at him, he turns the ball over too much in the playoffs. After one game against Denver on the road yesterday, one game with multiple fumbles, multiple interceptions, and Josh Allen is all of a sudden a turnover machine in the postseason. Really? Where he's gone toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs multiple times. His defense failed him, 13 seconds, Sean McDermott. He's beaten Lamar Jackson twice. Does anybody ever still criticize Lamar Jackson for not being able to beat the Bills and for throwing a pick in the end zone as a 1 seed against the Kansas City Chiefs when you were home for that game a couple years ago? Remember that one? 14-win Ravens? Any criticism on that? Lamar Jackson fumbling and turning it over left and right against Buffalo? Oh, no, that's right, because Mark Andrews dropped a touchdown pass, and that wasn't Lamar's fault. So, but Dalton Kincaid dropped a pass last year. Diggs dropped passes against the Chiefs, but nobody talks about that with Josh Allen. The guy's just a turnover machine. He can't win the big one. He can't win the big one. Peyton Manning didn't win it until he was 30 and beyond, but, whatever. And I'm not saying Josh is going to win one, but what's fair is fair. Josh Allen's a turnover machine in the playoffs, huh? Okay. Can we ever talk about sustainability? Can we ever talk about the overall picture instead of one game, ever, with Allen or anybody else? Can we talk about that? Here's Josh Allen's numbers. Josh Allen, before yesterday, and I know everybody's living today like, well, Allen was bad yesterday in a playoff game and won, so he sucks overall because that was one game. How about the other 14 games for Josh Allen in the playoffs? Passing yards, 3,632 passing yards, 701 rush yards. He only had 4 interceptions in 14 playoff games, and fumbles lost, 0. 0. 0. 0. I mean, I guess I don't understand how many times we have to do this, right? Like, I guess we don't do it enough. He had one horrendous playoff game, but people run to, he's a turnover machine. No, he's not. He's not a playoff turnover machine. In fact, he had a nearly perfect game against the Patriots at home. He has high quarterback ratings. He has high everything. He has high rating, high QBR. He scores touchdowns. He has high yardage. He has high run yardage. Josh Allen also, in 14 playoff games, had 26 touchdowns passing and 9 running. That's 35 touchdowns total and 4 turnovers total in 14 games. 35 touchdowns and 4 picks in 14 games. So that means that he's turning it over less than 1 interception every 3 playoff games, or even better from a ratio standpoint. And Josh Allen is he's a turnover machine. He had one atrocious game against the Denver Broncos, and he's a turnover machine in the playoffs. The guy who went toe-to-toe with a dynasty multiple times, and his defense failed him. He had drop balls left and right. And Sean McDermott's 13 seconds, which I still believe that was the best Bills team of the era. McDermott being Allen era. Diggs, Beasley, high-flying offense. None of this everybody eats bullshit. A running game that was serviceable. A defense that did enough, but the offense was unstoppable. Gabe Davis right down the middle for a touchdown. 13 seconds. McDermott, bad coaching. All that in the playoffs. 35 touchdowns. 35 touchdowns and 4 turnovers. All interceptions in 14 games. And in there, he's beaten good teams, and he beat Lamar twice. And he beat a Patriot team where he was nearly perfect. A division team that you see twice a year, where anything can happen in the playoffs anyway, but then twofold if you play a division team. Josh Allen's a turnover machine. Got it. ML Sports Take here, brought to you by our good friends at Stanley Law Offices and Burn Dairy, as well as Mars Motors, Ken's Auto Detailing, and our good friends at Stumble and Monkey Brewing Company. Grab a pint, watch the games all weekend in Victor, New York, School Street, part of the great city of Rochester. StumbleandMonkeyBeer.com before your visit. And I do want to throw a quick thank you to some partner friends out there. Main Street Host, Dom Cambereri, Trey Waluski, Mark Alberti, Brian Comboy, and Jammin' Beats. If you need a DJ for that special occasion, wedding, whatever it might be in 2026, definitely go see my friends at Jammin' Beats. As I always tell you, enjoy the games, and people are stupid.